Aisha came back to her parents' house with her suitcases and a silence too heavy to describe. After the divorce, everyone spoke softly around her, as if she was made of cracked glass. But she didn't break. She just stopped expecting anything from life. She avoided crowds, avoided relatives, avoided mirrors on some days. Armand saw her again after almost 2 years at a small family gathering. She was helping her mother set plates in the hall, her expression calm, but her eyes carrying a tiredness that didn't belong to someone her age. He didn't rush to her. He simply stood near the table and said quietly, "You should sit. You've been on your feet since you came." Aisha didn't look up. "I'm fine." "You always say that," he replied. Not teasing, just noticing. She finally glanced up at him. He hadn't changed much. Still that steady presence, still eyes that didn't judge, but his voice had something more grown, more grounded. Before she could respond, her aunt called her from across the room, and the moment passed. But it stayed. The next time they saw each other was outside a grocery store. Aisha was paying, Armand was behind her in line. She didn't notice him until he quietly said, "You forgot this," and handed her the packet of coriander she had left on the counter. "Oh," she said, blinking. "Thanks, no problem," he said. "You've always been forgetful when your mind is full." She paused. That sentence hit deeper than it should have. He didn't ask what was on her mind. He didn't pry. He just saw her, clearly, without touching wounds. That night, Aisha stood in her balcony and exhaled, one of those long breaths that feel like something inside finally moved. The next days were small conversations, short ones. "I saw your mother today. She said you started helping at the school again," Armand said once, walking beside her as she carried grocery bags. "Only part-time," she replied. "I just needed something to do." "That's a good start. No motivational speeches?" she asked, with a kindly, tired sarcasm. He shook his head. "You don't need speeches, you need space." She didn't show it, but that sentence went exactly where her guard was weakest. Weeks passed. Their walks became a routine, neither acknowledged out loud. They didn't plan them, it just happened. Same time, same street, same silence that didn't feel heavy anymore. One year, I needed to become someone who could stand beside you, not behind my own insecurities. Aisha didn't speak, but she heard something open inside her chest. Something small, something new. Not love, but the possibility of not living numb. Her parents noticed Armand, whispers started. Her mother asked gently one night, "If someone good comes along again, would you consider?" No more love, no more anything. Her voice wasn't shaky, it was cold, hard. Hayden see her mother step back slightly, surprised at the sharpness. Armand didn't try to change her mind, he just stayed. Then one night, she broke, finally. They were sitting on a bench near the temple stairs, the quietest place in the neighborhood. A stray dog lay nearby. The air was cool. Aisha stared at her hands. "Do you know what hurt the most? Not the fights, not the silence, not even the way he made me doubt myself." Her voice thinged. "It was the moment I realized I was trying to earn basic respect." Armand's jaw tightened, but he didn't interrupt. "I kept thinking if I explained myself properly, if I changed how I spoke, if I softened myself a little more, maybe he'd see me." And breath broke. I forgot I already had value. Armand turned to her then, not dramatic, not emotional, just steady. "You were never hard to love," he said quietly. He just didn't know how to handle a woman who has a voice. She looked at him, not with gratitude, with recognition. That was the moment the first wall cracked. Days later, the twist came. Her ex-husband returned, with parents, with apologies, with changed tone, with softer eyes. "I was wrong," he said in the living room. "Give me a chance to fix everything. I'm not the man I was." Her family was shaken. Everyone said the same thing. If he has truly changed, why not try again? That night, Armand didn't call, didn't ask, didn't interfere. He waited outside her house, not to influence her decision, just to stand. Aisha walked out, saw him, walked to him slowly. He didn't speak first, she said, Everyone wants me to go back. He swallowed once. What do you want? She stared ahead at the quiet street. I want peace. Do you have peace with him? He asked. No, she said instantly. Do you have it alone? He asked. Yes. Do you have it with me? His voice was barely above her breath. Aisha didn't look at him, but her answer came like truth pulled from the marrow. Yes. The wedding that followed was simple, small, quiet, no heavy makeup, no gold, just ivory fabric and jasmine in her hair. On the wedding night, they sat together in the room. The door closed, silence warm. Aisha looked at him and said softly, "When did you fall in love with me?" Armand smiled slow. Before I knew what love was, before I had anything to offer, before life taught me how to stay. She breathed, soft trembling. In me? He looked at her gently. You fell in love the night you realized peace was not loneliness. Aisha blinked, eyes stimming. I'm still learning, she whispered. He touched her hand, not grabbing, just holding. We have time, he said. And that is how she loved again. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but quietly like dawn. Gradually, certainly unavoidable.